In a traffic jam, Emile and his father Francois argue over Emile's lateness. They notice an ambulance shaking and a creature coming out, landing on top of the car. The mutant manages to throw the officers away and runs away. Emile and Francois visit the hospital to see a doctor treating Emile's mother, Lana, who is also mutating into an animal. For the last 2 years, many people have suddenly started mutating into more animalistic forms, often being violent. Authorities are trying to catch them all and keep them in specialized institutions. Emile doesn't want to see his mother because she accidentally scratched his face, but Francois insists she's still family. The doctor explains that a new reception center has opened in the south, and Lana should be transferred there. Francois wants to move with Emile to start a new life away from the judgment of people who already knew Lana. Emile notices scratches on the walls in Lana's room and doesn't go too close. Some weeks later, Emile, Francois, and their dog move to their new home by the forest. Emile starts school, and when the teacher introduces him, Nina asks too many questions. Emile lies and says his mother is dead before explaining his scar was caused by lightning. A huge storm strikes the town, and Emile wakes up by the noise and a creature looking into the house. The next day, they receive an emergency call and rush to the local lake. An ambulance crashes into the lake, and police find the body of a creature. Half of the mutants are dead, while others have escaped. The cops hold down Francois as he yells for his wife, but Officer Julia assures him they haven't found Lana's body, so she must be somewhere in the forest. When they return home, Francois hangs clothes on the trees around the house, hoping the smell will guide Lana to them. The next day, Emile's team falls to the ground during class, except for him. Surprisingly, he pulls alone long enough for his teammates to escape. Emile, a mutant, is invited to a party by his classmates but is too busy inspecting his fingers to notice the change in his nails. He discovers small claws and a changing shape of his column, which causes him to feel ashamed. Francois goes to the mail and bumps into Julia, who informs him that they are no longer searching because the government promised to send the military. At a party, Emile feels sick and falls off his seat, causing others to freak out. He escapes through the forest, hearing the noises made by other mutants. The next morning, Emile wakes up near a lake, finds blood in his mouth, and spits before leaving. He throws up a feather at his house, realizing he ate a bird last night. Francois and Emile continue their search on the car, screaming through the windows while playing Lana's favorite song. They spend the night in the car, and Emile notices his nails are changing again in the morning. His dog runs away, and Emile follows him, only to discover a chameleon child on a tree. The Birdman from the beginning attacks Emile with his wings and claws, hurting his shoulder. However, Emile realizes he is a mutant too. Francois asks Emile to stay away, but Emile refuses, fearing they will discover the truth. Their argument causes them to almost crash against a horse, but Francois stops the car just in time, and they arrive at the riding school. Julia explains that a mutant attacked the horses, and Emile is left to wonder what happened. In summary, Emile's transformation and the subsequent encounters with other mutants lead to a series of events that shape his life and the lives of his friends. Emile, a mutant, is given stitches by an army nurse and believes the story that the dog bit his shoulder. He later learns that Nina has a necklace with a feather like the one he puked and freaks out. Emile struggles to concentrate due to distractions from ferrets in their cage. After class, Emile struggles with riding his bike due to his body changes, and Nina tries to stay supportive. Emile finds a dead bird in the fridge and leaves it for Nina as a gift, as she will donate it as food for the mutants. Emile catches a fish in the lake and learns that he is called Fix because he can't remember his real name. He takes Fix to the lake to practice, and he learns that the Birdman is trying to fly and keeps falling on the ground over and over. In the evening, Emile tries to ride his bike home but falls, so he decides to leave it in the forest and tell his dad that it was stolen. At a bar, Francois discovers the owner has made anti-mutant t-shirts, which makes him uncomfortable. He gets grabbed by a mutant, who pushes Francois to the ground. A co-worker pushes the creature back with an oar, revealing that the mutant is a relative of hers and she has been hiding it at work. Francois and his wife, Julie, go to the forest to help Francois search for Lana, but they have to hide every time they see a police car pass by. In the end, they don't find any creatures, but Francois is shocked to find Emile's bicycle. When Emile returns home, he finds lots of hair and claws, which makes him realize Emile's also changing. Francois shares some of Lana's medicine with Emile, and he reminds him to cut his nails daily and put cotton in his ears before covering them with hair to prevent noises from overwhelming him. Francois shows Emile how to use a hair removal cream on his body. Later that day, Emile chats with Nina on the phone while taking a walk outside the house. He is happy to discover he can hear her all the way from there. Emile discovers that he can only make bird sounds and enjoys flying. He goes to the festival where his father works, where he is furious about seeing him. An argument escalates into physical aggression, and Emile bites his father on the shoulder. Upset and confused, Emile walks away and bumps into Nina, who invites him to take a walk through the fields. They kiss and get dirty, but Nina discovers Emile's hair and changes her spine. Emile goes to the bathroom, where he is cornered by a classmate who saw him and Nina on the field. The boy makes a noise with a machine that only animals are supposed to hear, which hurts Emile's ears. Emile attacks the boy, leaving scratch marks on his face. Emile runs to hide in the field while the boy alerts the locals, causing them to call the police. A dog finds Emile, but Emile scares him away with a bark. Two men open fire in the direction, and the alarm starts going off. Emile runs as fast as he can, and when a guy is about to shoot him, Fix flies in and pushes him away, killing him with his claws. Finally, Emile flies into the forest, where a police car chases after them, but they open fire from across the water and hit Fix. Emile rushes to his friend's side and cries as Fix dies in his arms. In town, a large mutant sneaks around while army trucks make their way to the forest. Emile stays hidden in the forest, eating any fruit he can find. The next night, a storm hits the area, and Emile realizes his mother is Lana. They bump their foreheads together, and Lana leaves to ask her son to follow her. Emile discovers tons of mutants living together in harmony, including the chameleon girl. Francois helps Emile declare he was drunk and ended up in the forest by mistake. However, when he has to sign the release papers, Emile breaks the pen, and Francois pushes the cop to knock him down before raising the alarm. Francois seals the document himself, and they leave town.